Justice Emeka Nwete of the Federal High Court in Abuja yesterday ordered a temporary freezing of 4 bank accounts of the immediate past Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Kyari. The freezing of the 4 accounts in Jay's Bank was a sequel to an ongoing fraud investigations by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The order to freeze the said accounts was issued in a ruling on an application argued by the lawyer who represented the anti-graft agency. Now, our rights business analyst Chika Mbonu joins me now to discuss some of these top stories further. Good morning to you, Mr. Chika. How are you today?
Abby, good morning. How are you today?
Very well, thank you for asking. Let's begin with where we just left off, the court freezing bank accounts linked to former NNPC GMD Kyari.
Abby, I'm going to stay away from this court case and I'd rather focus on the NNPC as it is and the tragedy that we have been faced with in that institution, especially when it leads to the refineries. I mean, the case is the case. The SAFU has gotten have been investigating this. And in the last decade, for example, some reports said that we spent about $18 to $25 billion on turnaround maintenance of our refineries. Yeah. Yet, we don't have a single drop of petrol from them. You know, the last one for Port Harcourt refinery was about $1.5 billion. And then we were promised that, or it started with a lot of glamour, despite several promises, and the rest is going to start. Finally, we were told they started producing petrol, and then, again, it didn't. The next one was also Warri refinery. Almost more than $500 billion was spent on it, and then nothing happened. Then Port Harcourt Kaduna refinery, about $800 million. So that's the tragedy of Nigeria. You ask yourself, why are we spending this so much money, and then why are we not getting the results? Now, because the story that you read down through your rundown is tied into the tenure of the former NNPC MD. We have spoken about his tenure here when he left the post. Indeed, we say we don't do politics in this program. And one of the times we commended the president was when he did the change of management in NNPC, starting from the board of directors and to the management team, where he, for the first time in our country, he brought in professionals who had track records and who can stand on their own to look after the affairs of our national oil company, and that was basically that. So, how might the case affect the oil sector? You know, we still in investigation phase. We don't know what's the outcome of it, but this has been there. It has simmered. There's been so much rumor, so much leaks. Other story. I mean, billions of dollars found in people's accounts, and so on and so forth. So let's see how they investigate from beginning to the end now, right, and see the outcome. When we look at it sometimes, we just say the chaired were first. When you look at NNPC, you say, compare NNPC to the other national oil companies, and where do we, stand? Look at Aramco, for example, look at Petrobras, look at Petronas from Malaysia, and so on and so forth. How they're properly run. Look at even our local LNG here. How it churns out profits and dividends every year. So the issue, we know what to do in NNPC, and let us do it right. The refining resource will know what to do. Let's just do it right. But politics, interference, and so many other things have prevent us from doing that, and we hope that this time around that will happen. Talking about your case again, Abby, the case again about Abby is I'm hoping that one day public officials will leave their tenure, end their tenure, and their visitors will not be EFCC or the police authorities. Because it seems to happen here, whether it is, no matter, when somebody finishes his tenure in all the public sector's companies, what he sees, the next thing is they are there, going to investigate whether they committed fraud or not, which seems to be the life line of Nigerians.
Right, absolutely. And of course, while a number of things still hang in the balance, the common denominator and overall consensus, like you highlighted, is that transparency and accountability is still a major issue and a sore point within that. Let's move then to look at AFDB President Akinwumi Adesina's call to end corruption and illicit capital flows. What should we talk about this?
I mean, these stories are all just linked, you know. AFDB has come out to say that the African country will lose $1.6 billion every day through corruption, you know, profit leaking, capital flight, you know, that. I mean, the report says about $90 billion is in illicit financial flows, $275 billion siphoned away by multinational corporations by shifting profits, and $148 billion annually in lost through corruption. If you want to open an account in the UK now or any of these Western countries, you must have to pass through the eye of a needle. If finally you open the account and then £1,000 or $1,000 wants to enter your account, you're going to prove that it came from your great-grandfather and who was a miner and that. So it's always a paradox for me. You know, these African people who carry all this corruption money, where do they hide the money? Not in their beds. They still hide them in the Western financial institutions. But so I guess it's small people's money that they will not accept. But the big money, the banking system will also accept because they know where the money, know where the money is, you know. And so it's a major thing for us. And the tragedy again is that, as Adesina said, that we don't need to borrow. We don't need to borrow. You look at the case of Nigeria, you know, sometimes if you sit down and look at this one stolen this one leaked this one that, you know, look at oil production, for example. You know, when they started this chase, we're doing below 1 million barrels a day. Not that we're not producing, you know, because of the fact that everybody had their own pipe. You know, everybody in Nigeria had their own pipe plugged to the main pipe. And so 2 million barrels comes in, you know, before it gets to the Nigerian share, it's less than 1 million barrels, but everybody has taken their own. And that's why we have to go out there and borrow. Meanwhile, we have the natural resource. And that's how it's so for a lot of African countries. And so we don't need to borrow. And the debt overhang is getting so bad that very soon there'll be a debt crisis, you know, because a lot of these African countries are going to borrow. Now, so a lot of them already have had problems because a lot of the resources they use the money to finance, they've been taken. But as I said always, borrowing debt is not a bad thing, but what you use the debt for and how it's being monitored and how it's being controlled. And we hope that our National Assembly and so on, other people, whenever they bring these memos or applications for approval for debt level, they don't just say approved. They should actually check what did you do with the debt that you borrowed before. This new one that you're borrowing now, where is it going? What project is it going? Let it be project specific, not for consumption. And that's what happened during the Buhari regime. We just splashing the debts everywhere, and then you can't point out the things that the money was used for. Right. You know, and the story, Abby, is about the national African countries bringing down to the Nigeria, the states and the local governments. And then I'm quickly linking it to the story that you mentioned about the governors launching a
platform
for that.
Yeah.
One of the things that the government Tinubu have been clapping on the states for is that the states have gotten more money in fact allocation than before. What have they done with the money? What have you done? The investor you want to bring from outside to come and invest in your state, have you cut the field? Have you planted something for them to invest? Have you started something? What's your contribution? So you want people from outside to come and invest. Meanwhile, all the fact allocation are coming to your states. What have you done with them? Yet people are owed salaries. Pensioners are not being paid. Yet we're celebrating the fact that states have gotten fact allocation almost more than 50% what I've been getting before. So I clap for the governors for the platform they've set up, but each of them go and look at themselves in the mirror and say, what have they done? Each state in this country has something they can invest in. What of agriculture? Can they start in that and then invite people from outside to come and invest?
So again, accountability, transparency is in the order of the day, unfortunately, and the sole points here. So you don't have much faith in this platform, do you?
You see, Abby, investments are like very jealous. You know, international capital is very jealous. They go where they are treated the best, you know. So in your state, they're still kidnapping. In a lot of states, they keep kidnapping. In a lot of states, the roads are not good. In a lot of states, the resources are not there. And you want foreign investors to bring their hard-earned money from outside to come to your state. Get your house clean. Let the roads work. Do some minimal things with the FAC allocation you're getting. Not, let it enter into so many other things. The Burundi change people are the people profiting from a lot of FAC allocation. So let the state do something with the FAC allocation they're getting, and then their platform becomes meaningful. So then when we come there, would have seen the fields have been cut, the things have been planted, and then some new factories have been started, and so that the foreign direct investment that come in, we'll see something to plant on.
All right, very pertinent points there. If you joined us midway, I've been chatting with Rise business analyst Chika Mbonu. Mr. Chika, always a pleasure and great insights as always. We'll see you again tomorrow.